Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be looking at how we can send bulk emails using Gsheet. And also, we'll see how we can make this automated. That is, you don't have to go to the Gsheet and run your program every day. So if you want to run this program on a daily basis or a monthly basis, then I'll teach you how you can set it auto-triggered so that you don't even have to open the sheet at all in your life. Let's get into the video. In this example, I have a data set containing the to address, the CC address, and a message keyword. Now, the message keyword is a totally optional column. So maybe you want custom subject for your mail. Maybe you want custom message words for your mail. For all these things, you can have this message keyword here. So in your code, you can use this as a custom thing. So if you want to include custom subject line, change this message keyword into subject lines and you can just fill in your subject lines here. I have just filled in some random months here and you'll understand why I have used a message keyword when we get into the code. So let's not waste much time and get into the video. For writing the code in Gsheet, you need to go to extensions and click on app script. Now, when you go to the app script, I already had the app script open here. So this is how your Gsheet app script will look like. Here is where you'll write your code. If you don't see a place like this in your app script, you can go to the plus sign here and click on script because now we are going to write a script. HTML place is for you to write HTML codes. In this project or in this video, we won't be using HTML at all. So let's click on script and a new place will be added. I already had a place here code.js, so I'll write my code here. Let's start writing by declaring or opening a function. So let's write function, and in Gsheet you should always be very careful that it is case sensitive. That is, if you use capital letter in a place of small letter, the code will not work. So my suggestion is that you always use the suggestion by the code. So I'll click here, or you can click on tab and it will be selected. Let me write a name for the function now. I'll put the name as send email now. So I'll write send email bulk. I'll write send email bulk. Let me put a parenthesis here and let me put a curly bracket here and I'll click enter. So inside this space, we'll write our code. Let's start writing by calling our sheet name, that is mail data. We need to tell the code that the data is in this particular sheet. For that, let us declare this particular sheet. For that, let us start by writing var is equal to ss dot var ss is equal to, now ss is a random name that I have given. You can use any keyword that you want to use in your project. Spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet, and you put parentheses here and let's put a semicolon and click enter. Let's declare the sheet by name, that is var access. Access is again a keyword I have used. You can use any keyword that you feel relatable or good for your project. Is equal to ss dot get sheet by name, and inside the parentheses let's put double quotes, and inside the double quotes let's put the name of the sheet. For that, go back to your worksheet here, double click on the sheet here, and you can Control C to copy this, and let's click enter and go back to our code window, and inside here let us paste it by pressing Control V. Done. Now let's close the semicolon here and click enter. Next thing we need to do is to declare the last row of the worksheet. That is, in this particular example, the last row or the last used row is 11. But dynamically, tomorrow someone else might come and add a few more email IDs here. So I don't want the data to call only from 1 to 11. I want it to be working from 1 to wherever the data ends. That is the last row. So I'll find which is the last row. Let's go back here and write for last row is equal to XS. Remember, XS is the sheet which we declared with the name mail data. Dot get last row and open parenthesis and close it, and then click on semicolon and press enter. Now last row is our last row in this sheet. Now let us start our for loop. So the idea is that we have to send mail, but for each of these lines a different mail should be sent out. For that, let us open a for loop. For inside bracket we should write for I is equal to 2. We gave 2 here because the starting, we do not want 1 as the starting because 1 is just heading. So let's start from 2. Semicolon. I lesser than last row plus 1. So the idea here is that for last row you should be careful with the spelling. We gave capital R here. Remember, so the spelling should be very correct. Last row plus 1. So last row in this case is 11. So we want it to go till 12. And then put a semicolon and we'll put incrementing, that is I plus plus. That is, it should start from I is equal to 2 and it should increment up last row. That is done, and let us open our curly bracket. Inside this we'll write our for loop code. Let's start by writing for email address is equal to. Now let's write what is the email address here. Email address is in first column. So xs dot get range, in bracket let us write the range. So for range, the first we have to put the row. Row here can be different dynamically. So we have I here. I will be the row in each instance. Comma 1. 1 is the column number here. That is a column which has the to address. That is done. Outside the parenthesis, let's put a dot and let's write get value and put parenthesis and click on semicolon. Let's click enter. Now let us declare the CC address. Same way, for CC address is equal to xs dot get range. In bracket, let's write I comma 2. The reason why I put I comma 2 is because I instance and the second column, that is CC address, dot get value and parenthesis. Let's put semicolon and click enter. Now remember the message keyword we had here. Let us declare that value also, and we'll use that somewhere in the message or subject. Remember, it is completely optional. If you have just one common mail body and subject that has to be sent to different people, you do not want this. Let's put for keyword message is equal to xs dot get range I 3 because it is in third column, dot get value parenthesis semicolon and click enter. Now declaring is done. Let's write the subject here. So for subject is equal to, in quotes, let's write the words here. So let me write test mail for you. This is my subject here. Let's write the body, that is a message here. or body is equal to, hey, your assigned month is, and then let me put the message keyword, that is for the first email the month will be February, second it will be April. So let's see, let's, after closing the double quotes here, let's put a plus sign, and then let's type in what we gave here, that is keyword message. We declared keyword message is that particular range value, so let's put keyword message here. Yes, and now we can close it after putting a semicolon and click enter. Now this is the time where we'll start sending out mail, but whenever the mail has to be sent, we'll give a condition if to address is not empty. So if to address is empty, there is no point in sending out the mail at all, right? So we'll tell if email address is not equal to null, then we do not write then here, we put curly brackets here, and inside curly brackets for the if condition we'll write try, because we are trying to send the mail here. It's called try and catch method. So inside try method we'll send the mail. So for that we'll write mail app dot send email. Inside bracket we'll first declare what was the email address for the two person. So the two email address was email address here. So let's write email address, comma. Then we'll declare the subject. Now you should definitely remember the order in which we are writing this thing. Next we put the subject. Next we'll put the body. For that put a comma and we'll write the body here. Now this is the basic idea of sending a mail body. Now when you want to add CC to it, you'll start writing by a curly bracket inside this send email app bracket. So inside the curly bracket you can write CC and put colon and then put which was your CC word. So CC address I'll put here. Done. Now if you want your mail to be sent from a no reply at domain.com place, for example, if you're working at a company, if you're working at Amazon, you'll have a mail ID called no reply at amazon.com, so nobody can reply to your this mail being sent out. For that you can write, put a comma and no reply and put colon, write true. You can write like this. Now the reason why I get error here is because of the bracket closing. I'll do that later, then all this error will be gone. Now this is how you can write no reply is equal to true, but since I'm sending this from my personal mail ID, this won't work for that. So let me just remove that. Yes, that is done. Okay, remember I told you about the error thing. It was not about curly brackets. Here after body, I didn't put a comma. That's why I got an error there. You have to put a comma after each declarations. So that is done. Now, if you want to add a reply to option, that is once you send this mail and when the user or when the recipient replies to the mail, you want that mail to be sent to another email, that is one that is not declared anywhere here. You can put something called a reply to. You can put a reply to outside this curly bracket here, for example option, and you need to declare option here. So I'll write option is equal to inside, let's put here what option is equal to inside quotes I can put test email at gmail.com. This is some random mail ID I just put now. Yeah, so what would happen is that once the mail is being sent, once the person receives it, when they are selecting the reply option in the Gmail, that message will be replied to this particular mail ID. instead of the sender, the mail will be sent to this particular email ID. Now, I'm not gonna put this option here because I do not want that particular feature to be applied in my project. So I'll remove options from the send email app body. That's it. It is done. Now, since we use the try and catch method, let's also put catch. That is, if an error comes, what would happen? Let's put catch inside bracket E and then open the curly brackets. And inside this curly brackets, we can start writing logger dot log, and in bracket let's put inside quote failed to send email colon, and after the quotes, after ending the quotes, let's put a plus sign and we'll write E here. So if the mail is not sent, or if it is an invalid mail address or anything, it will be shown in the execution log for you. Now this is it. This is the code. We can run this and see whether it is being sent out. Before that, let's press Ctrl plus S to save this project. It is saved and let's press on run. Now, if you are someone who is running this code for the first time, the system will ask you to review permissions. You can click on review permissions here and then select your mail ID and then allow for that. If it is showing like this, do not worry, this is your own code. There is nothing unsafe about it. The Google is putting this safety measure here because you should not run random codes you have downloaded from internet. That's why Google always shows things like this. Since this is your own code, you just use your own mail IDs and your own data, there is nothing to worry here. So you can press on advanced and click on go to untitled project. Now you can click on allow and yeah, now the code has started running. See, the execution is stopped, which means that all the mail IDs mentioned here has received the mails which we have sent now. Now, let me also tell you how you can auto trigger this mail. That is, if you want to send this particular mail every single day, you don't have to go to Gsheet and run this every single day. For that, you have to go to this area, which is the triggers, and click on triggers. And after that, once again, yeah, this is your triggers. Now in triggers, there is no triggers added here for the project. So let's go to add trigger here. And now let's select which function to run. We only have one function, that is send email bulk. Now the deployment should be head and select event resource. So let's click here and let's click time driven. That is, this will be triggered on a basis of time. Now select type of time-based trigger. Do you want it hourly, or do you want every day, every week, every month, or every minutes? So let's select day timer here. Now select time of the day. When do you want this code to run? You can select a 1 hour window here from any time. So let me select 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Done. And I can press on save. Now this trigger will automatically run this code and send out the mail every day between the time which we gave. So this is how you can send out bulk emails through your Gsheet even without opening Gsheet on a daily basis. I hope this video was clear to you. If you want more videos about Google Sheets, automations, Excel and all these things, I have posted many videos in my channel. Please take a look into them.